And we are live. Welcome to another episode of AB Trap and Combat. And today we got some breaking news. We got some breaking news about Tank Davis versus Jake Paul. We have confirmation that Tank Davis is supposed to fight Jake Paul, and it's been delayed. If Tank Davis would have won against Lamont Roach, he would have then fought Jake Paul next. But because it was a draw, now Tank Davis has to fight Lamont Roach again and then fight Jake Paul. And now it makes sense why Tank Davis looked so upset after the fight. He looked so upset that it was a draw. Leading up to the Lamont Roach fight, Tank Davis had a lot of interviews talking about retirement and talking about participating in celebrity fights. And he named Jake Paul. Now it makes completely sense. Tank Davis was hinting at his future plans. Now we also have a big name in the boxing industry, Eddie Hearn, who also confirmed this. But he said it most likely happens in November. You have confirmation from Eddie Hearn, but you don't have any confirmation from Tank Davis. That's why it seems like Tank Davis doesn't want to do the rematch with Lamont Roach. He has a bigger fight plan ahead that will get him more money. Tank Davis has said it time after time. He's after the money. He's a money man. He's not in here for titles. He doesn't care about being undisputed. He just wants to be paid. Now for the fight itself, I'm not a big fan of it. I think Gervonta has the skills, but he doesn't have the size to compete with someone like Jake Paul. So you have Tank Davis, who's 5'5" with a 67-inch reach, right? Jake Paul is 6'1" with a 76-inch reach, and he's considered a heavyweight. Gervonta Davis is considered a lightweight. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this fight at all. I think there's weight classes for a reason. I think people should fight people their size or around their size. I could tell that Gervonta Tank Davis is very comfortable with fighting bigger guys because he could utilize his skills very well against these bigger guys. But against people who's his size, it's a little more difficult for him to actually exchange, or maybe it's just motivation. Like he's not motivated to want to have those firefights. As you've seen with Lamont Roach, he was looking for a firefight. He was in the middle of the ring trying to invite Tank Davis to exchange with him. And Tank Davis wanted no parts of that. So I'm sure like he knocked out bigger guys in the gym. He sparred with bigger guys and he found success. But against Jake Paul, who's been training for some time now, for some years now, I mean, it's going to be a tough fight. One, Gervonta is going to need to cover the distance well. He's going to need to find a way to get inside. Jake Paul is not going to go in there just swinging away. He sees all his opponents do that. He's just going to run around the ring waiting for Gervonta to come in. The younger Tank, he was more of a pressure fighter. He was more comfortable just moving forward. But now he just likes to move back, trap you, and land that one big bomb. He's not trying to exchange. He's not trying to meet you in the middle of the ring. He knows he has the power, and he uses his advantages very well. But before Jake Paul, he has to get through Lamont Roach. And Lamont Roach right now is looking like a big threat. And I'm sure the fight will still happen. You know, this just because Tank loses this fight doesn't mean, Jake Paul won't want to fight him. I mean, Tank is still a big name. But does he want to fight Jake Paul after losing? No. The fans are going to cook him. Like, they're going to say that Jake Paul is going to knock you out. So he wants to beat Lamont Roach and fight Jake Paul with a win on his back. And it would be crazy if Davis loses to Lamont Roach and then loses to Jake Paul. I mean, that's the end of his career. He would completely tarnish a great career. He definitely doesn't want to lose to Lamont Roach and to Jake Paul back to back. I think Lamont Roach is a tougher fight against Jake Paul, but against Jake Paul, because of the size, it's going to be tough. I think Tank Davis is doing too much. I think it's gonna catch up to him, and he's just chasing money a little too hard. He's forcing it. At this point, he's forcing it. I think it was better for Tank just to try to be undisputed and become a global superstar, and he would have saw a lot of money there. If his goal is to really try to fight Jake Paul, I think that is not going to end well for the rematch against Lamont Roach. And if he loses, then, I hate to say this, but I think I'm siding with Jake Paul to beat Tank. It's just the size difference. The size difference is just crazy. And that's 2 back-to-back losses. That would be insane to see. He basically destroyed his own career. Not because of the Lamont Roach loss, but because he lost to Lamont Roach and then lost to Jake Paul. And to make it worse, prior to those 2 fights, he had a draw. So on his record is draw. Let's just say he loses to Lamont Roach and Jake Paul. On his resume, it will be draw, a L, and a L. That's going to be hard to come back from. So I hope that Tank Davis is investing, being careful with his money. Because if he's not, he's in trouble. That's all I got for you. Don't forget to drop a like, a subscribe, a comment, and share. Do all that good stuff for me. Until next time.